we don't like independent women.
You undermine how damn important it is for a woman to just rock the cradle. You want to be exhausted? Work your 9-to-5 job, and then show up to children, and then have to meet the needs of your husband. You're going to either resent the thing that you show up to do from 9 to 5, or you're going to resent your children and your partner.
I pay my own bills and they're all in my name. I live on my own. I don't need nobody.
Learning how to let a man lead you so that you can be the girl. Because guess what? Here's what I say to women. It's more fun. It's one less hat that you have to wear.
All I'm saying is that if she is independent and she pays her own bills and she takes care of herself and she can cook and she is doing her own damn laundry and she is looking good and staying hydrated and being her very best self, she is one step away from having a literal nervous breakdown.
Wow, it's such a breath of fresh air to hear a woman say these things. Men and women complement each other, and if we learn to do everything on our own, it will be mentally straining on our body and our mind. So ladies, if you are independent and don't need a man, don't complain when a man don't look your way.
The happiest women are the silent women.
Yep.
Their pages are private on social media. You know, they're literally not out and about in the comments.
Nope.
They're not creating blogs. They're literally happy living their lives. Mm-hmm. So you don't ever hear them. You don't ever see them because
you think they don't exist.
Exactly.
If there was only more manly men in society to teach their daughters it is better to be silent than loud and obnoxious, you would have more long-lasting relationship in society today. Because she is so independent, she now have dominant traits and believe that a man cannot tell her anything, always causing an argument.
Just because your woman can be a superwoman don't mean she wants to be. Why she always gotta have her cape on? Why she always gotta be the person to wake the kids up, go to work, make the food, check the homework, suck your make sure you don't forget this. She gotta be your secretary, your star, she gotta be your maid, she gotta be your chef, and now she still gotta be your wife. And you think that shit is normal because you grew up watching your mom do all those, have all those hats, and you like, well, my mom did all this for me, so you should be able to. She ain't looking to have a son, bro.
It seems feminism has got to this man. He's talking nonsense. Hard-working men that are providers do not want their women to work the same type of stressful jobs they're working. A woman staying at home and doing her womanly duties is also a full-time job and should not be taken for granted. Did you notice the first thing this man said?
Just because your woman can be a superwoman don't mean she wants to be.
He is totally right on that part. It is such a wonderful thing when a woman doesn't have to keep worrying about paying bills and focus on making a home. Then a man can come home after a hard day work and relax and doesn't have to keep worrying about the household duties.
It's like the times have changed, but men's expectations of women and what their wives should be haven't morphed with the times, bro.
Do not listen to him. The world has gone to shit. Back in the days, women were not independent and was family orientated. Relationships lasted way longer and they had kids. That would be a functioning member of society. So man, keep strong and don't be corrupted by these people who will lead you to have a broken family.
So now we got a lot of men walking around expecting their wives to be their mothers and all these different things, and the only thing you bring to the table is half the rent.
This male is delusional and he believes in 50-50 relationships.
The worst thing that women can do nowadays is to think that having a career and children are something you could do simultaneously. The people that say that are often people that do not have children. And then the people that do have children are often the people that have to hire nannies to take care of their own children.
So the solution is basically going back to traditional masculinity and femininity.
Absolutely. There's an undermining of the female role and the importance of motherhood and the complete and total exploitation of it, undermining what it is. That right there is how you make a society weak. You undermine how damn important it is for a woman to just rock the cradle. You want to be exhausted? Work your 9-to-5 job, then show up to children, and then have to meet the needs of your husband. You're going to either resent the thing that you show up to do from 9 to 5, or you're going to resent your children and your partner.
We live in a world where a woman staying at home and taking care of the house is seen as slavery. No woman will enjoy going to work, then come home to do household duties, and the same goes for a man. It is such a beautiful thing when a man does his part and a woman does hers. Then both of them can come together and turn it into a loving relationship.
The biggest lie is be independent, be self-sufficient. You don't need anyone. You'll be fine. You got this. That's not how we're designed. Human beings are designed biochemically for connection. They're designed to be codependent. They're designed to love each other. They're designed to be in tribes. Never in history have people not lived in tribes. It takes 5-6 people to raise a child because that's how much emotional connection they are required to have. Now, we now live in a hyper-independent society that is totally individualistic and teaching everybody, you'll be fine, you got this, self-improvement, self-esteem, self, and nothing to do with the group affiliation. And what happens is when you don't feel great, you feel like you've lost that life. Whereas when we have group settings, it's like, okay, I don't feel great, but my group is doing really well. My family is doing really well. My tribe is doing really well. I'm good. But now we don't have that resilience because we're totally encouraged to be solo.
I am independent and I don't need a man. That's something you can hear most women say, but not most men. Men understand that women are delusional and that women and men cannot do without each other.
We live in a society where women, because they've been told and kind of indoctrinated, and there are so many reasons, modern feminism, the destruction of the family nucleus, how a lot of people are raised now, right? Culture, where women feel that they have to be hyper independent, boss babes. They have to wear all of these hats and never depend on a man. That's really difficult as they get older in life. It's difficult to unlearn a lot of those things.
Totally.
So they'll go on a date and that's their instinct is, I'm just going to put down my credit card,
That's
or
true.
I'm not going to let him call me a car, or I'm not going to let him pick the place, right? They go into that mindset. That's why my course has helped so many people, not to totally plug it, but it really has. It's all about learning how to let a man lead you so that you can be the girl. Because guess what? Here's what I say to women. It's more fun. It's one less hat that you have to wear.
More women figure out this when it's way too late. Have you ever seen a woman that is up in her 30s and lonely, living with her cat and dog? I am sure you will know a lot. When these women were young, they wasted away their years to be independent and now wish they could go back in time to be a submissive woman to a man that would take care of them.
As soon as a woman calls herself independent, that's a red flag to me. We don't like independent women. We do like self-sufficient women, but there's a major difference between the two. We don't mind self-sufficiency. A woman that has her own career, her own place, cars, money, businesses, we don't mind that. But the minute you start to idolize your independence is where we see red flags, because there's a certain spirit that comes along with that. It's the I don't need anybody paradigm. Let's flip it. How would women feel if they met a man and every time he spoke, he sounded like, I pay my own bills and they're all in my name. I live on my own. I don't need nobody. She'd probably say like, bro, you're an adult. You're supposed to do that. Like, are you good? Like, is there a chip on your shoulder? Like, but even deeper to the point, I'll never make my woman feel like I don't need her. Can you imagine how I would look to a woman who liked me if I walked around shouting how independent I am or how I don't need anybody? Like, imagine how that would make her feel. Nah, I'm waking up every day and reassuring her that I want her, I desire her, and I need her. I'm not a weak man for admitting I need my woman. But I'm worried that some women are so attached to that independent teaching that they're gonna independent themselves right into a lonely life. Or worse, form an attachment but still perceive the relationship through an independent field of view.
I'm 100% sure a woman can go out and work and come home and take care of the home. Once, that job does not take up all of her time to where she cannot cater to a man. Both man and woman want to be needed, and if one of them starts to act in a way where they are independent and don't need the other, it will always cause problems.
For the ladies, this is one type of man that you need to run from if he comes into your life, right? And it's the type of man who loves that you're an independent woman. Now, of course, respecting and appreciating what you're able to do for yourself, there's no problem with that. But you have to realize there's a little bit of a trick when men love that you're an independent woman. Because what he's essentially loving is the lesser amount of responsibilities that he'll have to take on. A lot of men love independent women because, well, that's less work, that's less responsibility. And the problem is there will come a time where you need to depend on your man. There will come a time where you need a man who is very responsible, very capable. And if you get with the type of man who loves the fact that you're independent so he doesn't have to be dependable, when that time comes, he will disappoint you.
Some independent women say they don't have any problem working with a man that is down bad, but in the back of their minds, they tell themselves they will work with this person until he rises above her income level. Then, if that man does not get his affairs in order, they will grow resentment for that man after a while. In the future, she comes to realize that this man only wants to leech off her and doesn't want to improve his life.
Being hyper-independent is hurting you more than you think. So to my ladies, when you heavily rely on yourself to do everything, you start to develop certain masculine characteristics that become very unattractive. And you may not even realize that you have inherited these characteristics because you think that being extremely independent is actually a good thing and actually protects you. When in reality, when you're being hyper independent, you're not allowing yourself to be in your feminine. You end up becoming more dominant and end up attracting people that are more likely to depend on you, which just ends up adding more stress to your life.
And if you enjoy watching this video, don't forget to smash that like button and leave a comment to let me know that I should make more videos. Also, I know you will enjoy watching this next video.